The movie starts with two young Chinese IT engineers who work hard and believe in their mission. They volunteered to travel to northern Africa to help their company win a big telecommunications contract that could change communication in the region. However, they soon learn they are not the only ones competing. A French spy named Michael and his team from the European Telecom Union are also after the same deal. Michael is determined to sabotage the Chinese engineers. His boss believes that controlling Africa's telecom networks will give them power over the continent's rich mineral resources. To carry out his plan, Michael hires mercenaries. These include Lauder, a famous weapons dealer and former African general, and another ex-general named Kaba. Their goal is to manipulate the situation and create conflict that could start a civil war between the North and the South. In a dark bar, Michael meets Kaba and hands him a file. He tells him about the sad history of the Mangtulu fighters, explaining how their ancestors were defeated in an ancient war and almost wiped out. As Kaba reads the file, he realizes his people are now scattered across Africa. Filled with determination, he vows to reunite them. Michael promises to help, urging Kaba to do whatever it takes to gather intelligence on the Chinese engineers. Moments later, Lauder and his men burst into the bar, pressuring Kaba to drink alcohol.
I don't drink.
Firm in his religious beliefs, Kaba refuses. Michael attempts to calm the situation, explaining that drinking is customary in the bar. Frustrated, Lauder orders the bartender to serve something special instead. The tension escalates, as one of Lauder's thugs harasses Kaba, forcing him into a humiliating situation that sparks a violent confrontation. The bar erupts into chaos as insults are hurled and the situation spirals out of control. Meanwhile, at the telecom bidding meeting, engineer Yan's partner, Ruan, expresses her frustration over the obvious distrust from decision-makers simply because they are not Western. She believes the process is rigged against them. Yan remains calm, countering her concerns with reports showing that 3G has already become the global standard in telecommunications. After deliberation, they agree to use 3G as their bidding benchmark. Outside the meeting, they discuss Yan's decision, unaware that Michael has been manipulating events behind the scenes. He boasts to his team that it was his influence that pushed 3G into consideration, believing it strengthens their strategy. Yan contacts his company headquarters to request additional 3G equipment, but is refused. He is told to build the demonstration using only what he already has. Although Ruan worries this setback could cost them the deal, Yan secretly contacts an old friend in China, offering something valuable in exchange for an advanced 3G kit. His friend agrees, and soon the equipment arrives.
Yes! Yes! Yeah!
Unbeknownst to Yan, Kaba has been watching him closely, photographing the delivery and documenting every detail. Later, as Yan and Susanna drive to the demonstration site, preparations are underway to send the telecom mast into position. Just as Yan is about to receive fingerprint confirmation from Susanna, she suddenly disappears. Susanna soon stumbles upon villagers performing a ritual involving a child. Fearing the child is in danger, she rushes forward to intervene, triggering chaos as panic spreads. In the confusion, Yan emerges, grabs the child, and runs toward the truck. Susanna speeds away with the baby, heading for a nearby clinic, while Yan is captured by villagers as he tries to escape. The villagers later track Susanna down, but she is shocked to learn they never intended to harm the child. With the help of Shakicha, a peaceful resolution is negotiated, and Yan is promised release by morning. Later that day, Susanna discovers surveillance photos taken by Kaba. When she confronts Omar, he admits that while Kaba's actions were unethical, there is no official rule against them. During the critical telecom demonstration, Michael and his team attempt another act of sabotage by deploying a signal jammer. Yan detects the interference immediately and devises a bypass system to save the presentation. Just as he is about to succeed, Kaba and his men storm in, opening fire and destroying everything in sight. News channels quickly broadcast the city's collapse into chaos, as Kaba announces the assassination of the North's vice president, officially marking the start of civil war. Michael tries to assert control, but Kaba grabs him by the collar and drags him into a private room. There, Michael drops his act, admitting that war is far more profitable than telecommunications. Suddenly, Michael's partner storms in, angrily rejecting the plan and threatening to expose him. In a fit of rage, Michael shoots him dead. He then hands Kaba a frequency capable of disabling communication systems nationwide. As Kaba carries out his mission, Omar coordinates a rescue operation to save the trapped telecom crew. Meanwhile, Yan desperately works to restore communications, rerouting damaged equipment. When Michael realizes Yan is repairing the network, he orders Kaba to destroy even more towers. Undeterred, Yan carefully maps the damaged sites and reroutes the signal once again. The second tower flickered back to life, briefly reconnecting calls. They rushed toward the third tower, but just as they approached, a missile struck it, reducing it to rubble. Kaba intercepted a radio distress signal, calling surviving soldiers to the Udin tribe.
Fire!
Yan arrived at Shikita's location and pleaded with him to defend the last remaining tower, warning that maintaining communication could stop the war entirely. Shikita agreed, but another missile soon streaked in from afar, hitting the compound and sending Yan sprawling to the ground. Fortunately, UN peacekeepers arrived by helicopter just in time. Kaba opened fire on them, but they evaded his shots and returned fire, destroying his tank in the process. Later, Shikita's men found Kaba alive and chose mercy over revenge, allowing him to go free. Sometime later, masked attackers ambushed Yan in an attempt to steal his bag. Just as they were about to succeed, another masked rider on a motorcycle intervened. The biker revealed himself to be Lauder. He seized the bag and, noticing Yan was unconscious, loaded him onto the bike and sped off to Shikita for treatment. Soon after, masked mercenaries attacked Shikita's home, searching for the enhancement program Yan had used to strengthen their bid. The clash was fierce and chaotic. Shikita fought bravely, his sword cutting through the attackers with precision forged through years of training. However, despite his skill, the assailants overwhelmed him, shooting him in the chest before disappearing into the night. In the aftermath, Kaba was consumed by guilt and rage. He reluctantly teamed up with Michael once again, lured by promises of land, wealth, and the chance to rebuild his tribe. Together, they tracked down Yan and demanded he unlock the enhancement system. Yan complied, providing the necessary codes, but Michael's betrayal soon became clear. He ordered Kaba to throw Yan into open water, intending to drown him. As Yan struggled to survive, he pleaded with Kaba, revealing a shocking truth. Michael had murdered Shikita, the very man who once saved Kaba's life in the desert. Realizing he had been deceived, Kaba turned on Michael. Michael rushed to confront Yan, only to discover that Yan had already vanished beneath the waves. Later, at the telecom control hub, Yan resurfaced and requested permission to enter and send the source code to a trusted contact. The guards demanded official clearance, but just as Yan began to explain, Susanna and one of Yan's friends arrived with the required authorization. They were granted entry, and Yan quickly sent the source code to Mr. Carlos for verification of DH Telecom's integrity. Meanwhile, Michael and Kaba entered the press hall disguised as officers and secretly planted bombs around the building. However, Kaba quietly damaged part of the detonator, hiding his true plan. When Mr. Carlos went on stage and announced that China's DH Telecom had won the 3G contract, Michael lost control. He forced Kaba to activate the bombs, causing powerful explosions that shook the hall. In the middle of the chaos, Yan confronted Kaba and asked why he could not see that Michael had been using him. Suddenly, a flickering screen showed Michael strapped with explosives, begging for his life. Kaba watched him coldly and, without hesitation, triggered the device, killing Michael to avenge Shikita's death. As the police rushed into the hall, Kaba fell to his knees, crying uncontrollably. He called himself a sinner,
I am a sinner!
and begged everyone to let go of their hatred before turning a gun on himself. Yan ran toward him, trying to stop him, but it was too late. Yan was later arrested for sharing the source code, but after 2 days in custody, he was released. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time.